So this is Twisted from Open Fire Gaming. So as promised, as you heard from probably our last video, we all have our own channels, and I'll be doing some Warhammer stuff. So as little, I guess, history lesson for a second, tabletop games like Warhammer 40,000 or various others were the predecessors to RTSs. So all you RTS fans, meet your granddaddies. Okay, so I'm just going to get right in it. I'm not going to give you any terminology, so I'm assuming you know what I'm talking about when I say this. I play Necrons, as you can see. So when I chose my paint job, I was hoping to stray away from the general bland colors that the Necrons usually are seen with, blacks, metals, and the monochrome. So I chose some lighter, brighter colors. I chose like a copper and a silver color. I don't use Games Workshop paints, so I can't give you any names, but I'm assuming that this would be the equivalent of tin bits and brazen brass. Don't quote me on that, because I'm not exactly sure. So, just a basic paint job, good enough for a tabletop standard, but, simple enough that they can be mass-produced quickly. What I also choose is not something that many Necron players do, is Scarab Swarms. Got some there, as you can see on this one. I got a trophy there, because these guys have been doing some pretty amazing things for me in the tabletop, so they get trophies. What a lot of Necron players have, Destroyers. But don't take these guys fully to the same advantage as other Necron players do, where they go and field these guys at like max amounts, because it's 55 points for one guy, and he's no tougher than your warriors. So should he go down, that's a couple points. And as you can probably see in the background here, a monolith, which I scratch built. I don't intend on keeping this forever. Eventually I do intend to replace it with a real model, but for just tactics purposes, this works great. It is to scale, and in another video I may teach you how to build this. Then we have here my Lord on a, if I can get him in the camera shot, a Lord on a Destroyer body, as you can see here. Again, same scheme. He has a War Scythe, but everyone is equally understanding that this can be treated as a Staff of Light. Got a little Res Orb in his hand. There's a slight conversion on here. The Res Orb in his hand is attached to the Phylactery arm. Maybe able to see. The little scarab on his arm is the Phylactery arm, combined with the Res Orb. I cut the hand off of one and glued it onto another arm for a little effect. And, that's about it for my the paint job. What I'm generally going for the army is a big shooty army, trying to concentrate on a lot of warriors as the mainstay of my phalanx. Then set up behind them, I'm going to have about 5 destroyers in order to provide my heavy range support, and having the ability, being jump infantry, to leap over, not jump infantry, being mounted on jet bikes, being able to leap over my units in front should they have to deal with a longer range threat. Then behind those, heavy destroyers, because although Gauze weaponry does allow me to hit anything on, injure anything on a 6, I'm not going to rely on the roll of a 6 in order to try and take out a tank. And then I also have, I've been working on a Lord on foot for those times when I don't feel like spending the extra points for having a Lord on a jet bike. For now, he's unpainted, and as you can see, there's a little bit of green stuff. I don't use green stuff. I use a terracotta modeling putty. It's equivalently the same thing. I just use it because I can get it in larger amounts for a cheaper price. I started to green stuff onto him an extended cape, which is more of like a shroud. Then I didn't like that anymore, so I began to chip that off. So I'm going to sculpt onto him more of a robe-like thing, because I intend to have him veiling around the field a lot. I want to try out the tactics for veiling and see if I can maybe plop a nice big squad of immortals or something across the field somewhere. So, yeah, that's about it for my army. This is just a little portion of it. Eventually I'm going to work it up to about a 2,000 points, and then eventually start Apocalypse one day. So, maybe one day I'll teach you how to build this, but for now, that's it from Twisted from Open Fire Gaming, so have fun out there.